All right, well, it's a pleasure to be here. My presentation is going to be sprinkled a lot with video, so there's going to be, I won't talk that much. I'm going to show you a lot of video to bring a lot of these points to life. It's sort of the qualitative version of what USAMP presented earlier, comparing the differences in insight that you can get using two different methodologies. And I'll take you through that in a minute. And there is a lot of potential for using mobile for getting insights. This is all qualitative, but let me show you what we learned here and what we did. Certainly, just by virtue of all the technology that we have and all the discussions we're having here, it's a very exciting time for market research because with all this technology allows us to do a lot of interesting things, real time versus static and so forth. And that's all wonderful and delightful that there's all this technology, but what do you do with it? You know, what does it buy you? So we wanted to set out and learn about that for qualitative research. And what we did is we came up with 3 scenarios. The first one was trying a new cup of coffee at Starbucks. Second was the driving experience in a new SUV. And the third was shopping for a mobile phone, a new mobile phone. So this is very developmental research. I understand that 18 respondents is not enough to make, real clear conclusions, but it's very indicative and sort of hypothetical at this point. But let me share with you what we learned. And what we did, we took 18 respondents and we split them into 2 groups. 9 of them were tasked to do one of those 3 activities in the moment, during the experience. And we video chatted with them in live time. So we were actually video chatting with them while they were in this experience in real time. And that was compared to the different group of people doing the exact same activities, being tasked to do the exact same activities, and then us having a follow-up discussion with them at home later that day. And then it was split across those 3 tasks: coffee, SUV driving, and shopping for mobile phones. So what I'm going to do is take you through each little scenario. The first one was Starbucks. And I'll first talk a little bit about some of the, what we noticed, some of the findings that we observed. And then I'm going to show you videos of what we saw in the moment and at home to sort of like bring some of these findings to life for you. So first of all, in Starbucks, when they were trying this new drink for the first time, there was much more vivid language and they were much more descriptive about the drink. Their reactions were, stronger. Like you could feel their reaction more as to whether they liked it or didn't like it. It wasn't that kind of vague response. You kind of got how passionate they were or not about the drink. And then the role that coffee drink played in their day, just that little moment of having that drink and how it was going to help the rest of their day was much more specific and clear when we did the mobile phone interviews in live time versus the in-home. And the in-home, on the other hand, you just heard more conventional language, what you'd expect to hear about, how they'd evaluate a new coffee drink. It was just less visceral. It was less interesting. Like we learned a lot of new language in this one, but we didn't learn so much there. And their description of the role it played in their day was quite generic as well. So this one, if I click it, this should play. This one is the in-store.
That's good. I'm
Really?
very good.
It's very smooth, and then I get a little bit of the foam and who I don't like doing this, but well, you know what? I'm not gonna die, so this is good. I mean, this is good.
It smells a lot sweeter and like it has a lot more flavor than it actually does. A little more punch, a little more flavor to it, which is nice.
Right now at my house, we've got kids running around, I've got dogs running around, so there's a lot of chaos going on right now. We're going to do soccer practice on a wet Saturday, so I'm not going to walk into all that. So I think what this allowed me to do was kind of escape from that. I just feel like I'm going to be ready when I get home. I'm going to be ready to take on whatever fits me when I walk in that door.
It's going to make going to the grocery store, because I'm cooking dinner tonight for a bunch of kids, easier because I don't know, at this time of day, on a Saturday, everybody's at the grocery store. And I'm going there and I'm going to be going with my sunshine every country store.
Okay, so that was in the moment, and the next one is at home. Did you want to press this?
This was a great treat. It was sweet, smelled great, it was consistent, all the way through. It didn't seem to lose its flavor.
Did you get any sense from look or smell before you tried it?
Nothing about smell.
It left me feeling, it didn't leave me empty. I felt full. I felt energized.
For me, it's sort of like that's part of my day. And if I miss out on that, my day seems to be worse.
Mm-hmm.
And it is, like I said, it's a reward.
It's kind of my starter. It kind of gets me going in the morning.
All right, so there's our Starbucks example. Moving right along to driving in the SUV. And we were very careful about this. We had them prop up the phone somewhere, so we said, keep your hands on the wheel and don't look at us, because we could see them. And we just kept it as natural as possible. What we learned here, you'll notice in the SUV, when they're driving and talking about the experience, they talk about traditional category benefits like dependability and everything you'd expect to hear about a car, but in whole new ways. Like there were whole new twists on this. Like one woman you'll see, she talked about, well, I want my car to be dependable. And she's like, because I need to speed in and out of the traffic to get where I need to go, and that's dependable. So dependable to her was aggression, okay? That's a new way to think about dependability. The imagery, like the user imagery was a lot more vivid. They were able to kind of talk to that more. And like sort of under the radar features came out. Like you'll see the steering wheel and a knob on the temperature control, which aren't the big features that the car companies advertise. Anyway, so on the other side, it was you heard a lot of category cliches. The benefits, it's reliable, it's safe. The features, you'll see one lady who says, well, we got the third seat is really important, but I never use it, So, and then imagery was just more, not as descriptive. So let's take a look at these.
Just effortless. I mean, it's so smooth. When I press the gas, it goes, and
fine. That's the in-car. And now we go to the in-home after they did the task we asked them to do.
I like that feeling of kind of being, kind of on top of the road.
It's an SUV, but it amortizes like a car. I like that it has a third row back seat. We don't use it that often, but I like knowing that it's available.
Just a regular mom with a family that's on the go, taking her kids places.
So we couldn't pull that much out of those clips because they were pretty much what we've heard. All right, so we're going to go to, oh, sorry. Okay. So the last scenario was the shopping for a new mobile phone. And these were people that were in the market, going to a mobile phone store to check things out. The big finding here for the in-store, the mobile phone inexperience interviews, was that it was all about the touch. It was all a sensory, tactile experience. There was nothing about, features or service or that kind of stuff. It really came down to the touch. Whereas on the other side, those in-home interviews, I had a probe to get to that part about, did you pick up the phone? Did you test it? They did not come forth with that spontaneously at all. And then in the mobile phone interviews, like some of the not off brands, but old brands like Motorola, who's not the hot phone now, but but you could tell that they would be checking out some of these phones that are trying to make a comeback or off brands, whereas you don't get that after the fact because you need to be in the moment to kind of see what they're getting from those kinds of off brands. So we're going to play the mobile phone one first.
Actually, I found the HTC One. I'll show you.
Okay, let me see that one.
Their playbook. I think it's a sexy phone.
Okay, what makes it sexy?
I wish it was white. I think they have a white one. Well, I'll say this one would be sexy one. I just like the design, like very aesthetics. I really wish it was like white and gray. It's a little bit of trim, but I just love the way holding it feels like an iPhone but slimmer. I mean, like an iPhone 4S but slimmer. And it just looks really pretty and clunky. Yeah, so you can customize it. I love this phone.
It's tough because the main thing I like about going to the store is getting like a feel for the phone. But this is hard because you can't, because they all have this weight attached, so you don't really get a good feel of what it's like in your hand because you can't kind of wrap your full hand around it. Really what the experience can be about in-store shopping is it's about, it's the tactile experience.
You're really kind of just how big it is when you have your hand. And I was thinking, I know it's every phone. Because I have a hand to know how much it weighs.
I was kind of playing around with it, and I like it. Good speed. I love the colors. It's really vibrant, and it looks pretty cool. It's pretty. I guess Motorola is really trying to kind of get into this whole mode of the fact that you can personalize your devices and stuff like that.
Okay, and the in-home interviews.
They gave me some space. It wasn't I don't like question either.
I was able to get a few of the additional features that I didn't know. The Galaxy 5 has a feature where you can sort of drop images into emails, maps, and devices and that type of thing. I thought that was pretty cool.
And then HTC, because the guy review shop showed me that I can get one for only $20, which I thought was just crazy. Looking at that, and he also said that HTC is the new cell phone that people are going for now.
Did you get to physically see those phones when you were in there?
I just looked at them and held them or whatever, put it in my hand just to compare. And then I also did the comparison to the size of my iPhone.
Okay, so that's the video. So what did we conclude? Again, it's highly qualitative. You know, it's promising that if we did lots and lots of these interviews, we'd see a lot of the same types of patterns coming out. But implications based on what we've done here, you know, on-site is like the ultimate stimulus. Like, you know, in all focus groups or whatever, we have our concepts, we have our, you know, stimuli to try to provoke people and get them to respond. But putting them in the moment in an experience brings a lot out of them, and it's really, you can think of it as a wonderful stimulus. The consumers become a lot more descriptive, they're more creative, they're more passionate. You know, you can get new ways to think about category norms and category benefits, so you can kind of, you know, serve your brand up differently. Certain off-brands or off-features come into play that you wouldn't typically hear in a more traditional approach. Some of those latent motivators, like the touching and all that, I had to push to get that out. And the language was just so vivid, you know, sunshine in a cup, or, you know, I have to like get home fast, so I gotta like go in and out, you know, you just get much more descriptive language. So those were the implications. The applications, it seems that this technique using smartphones would be especially valuable for more of the exploratory and developmental research, like if you're developing, you know, advertising strategies, or on-site, you know, store design, like the mobile phone companies could, I don't know that much about the category, but it seems they could learn a lot about designing their store based on what people really care about when they go in the store. You know, copy, like packaging copy, some of the descriptive words that we got about the Starbucks drinks could, you know, provide new language and new product development. And also something not up here, like digital applications. You know, what are people doing on the phone in real time, you know, as they're using it digitally for social media or what have you. So that's my little spiel today. Thank you for hearing me, and feel free to ask any questions.